Most people think their metabolism is just getting slower, but it's not. It's being trained every single day to burn the wrong fuel. And right now, without realizing it, your body might be storing fat even while you're eating less. So what happens if you force it to switch? Not gradually, completely. You wake up slightly more tired than you should be. You need caffeine just to feel normal. Your thoughts feel slower. Not enough to scare you, just enough to ignore. And that's the danger. Because a slow decline feels like normal life. In recent years, researchers in Barcelona began looking at something surprisingly simple. What happens when you increase intake of small, fatty fish rich in omega-3s? Not supplements, not pharmaceuticals. Actual food. Early clinical observations suggested measurable improvements in metabolic health markers, including inflammatory signaling and insulin sensitivity. But studies like this ask safe questions. Small changes, predictable outcomes. What happens when you stop asking safe questions? What happens if you remove the entire modern fuel system and force the body to rely on something deeper? For 5 days, no sugar, no refined carbohydrates, no constant eating. Only water, electrolytes, and a concentrated source of protein and omega-3s. This is not fasting in the traditional sense. This is actually a metabolic constraint, and constraint forces adaptation. Day 1 feels deceptively normal because your body is still running on stored glucose, glycogen. Here's what most people don't realize. Glycogen is not just stored energy. It's stored with water. Roughly 3 grams of water per gram of glycogen. So, as glycogen begins to drop, you don't just lose fuel, you lose fluid volume. Electrolytes begin to shift. Blood pressure can slightly dip, and this is where people misinterpret the signals. They think I'm getting weak, but what's actually happening is the body is transitioning. Day 2 is where the real challenge begins. Not in the body, but in the brain. This is where most people quit, because what you feel is not hunger, it's actually expectation. Your brain has been trained for years, eating to get dopamine, snack for reward, sugar to relief. Now suddenly, that loop is gone. This creates a very specific state, dopamine discomfort. Relentless, irritable cravings that feel urgent but aren't physiological. Your body is not asking for food. Your brain is actually asking for stimulation. And if you can see through that moment, something shifts. Insulin drops, fat oxidation rises, and slowly the body starts unlocking stored energy. Day 3 is the pivot. This is where adaptation becomes noticeable. Your brain begins increasing its use of ketones, not as a backup, but as a preferred fuel in certain pathways. At the same time, you're introducing high concentrations of omega-3 fatty acids. These molecules do not just sit in the bloodstream. They integrate into the cell membranes. They influence signaling pathways. They contribute to the production of compounds involved in the resolving inflammation. Many people describe this day the same way. My mind feels quiet, not sedated, not slow, clearly quiet. At this point, another system begins to activate. Brown adipose tissue. Unlike regular fat, this tissue burns energy to produce heat. You're not just using fat, you're wasting it as heat. This is why some people feel warmer than usual, a slightly elevated body temperature, increased metabolic activity. One of the biggest concerns with fish is mercury, but accumulation depends on position in the food chain. Smaller fish like sardines, they have shorter lifespan, lower accumulation, and lower exposure. They also contain selenium, which plays a role in interacting with certain heavy metals. Not risk-free, but significantly lower risk compared to larger predatory fish. By day 4, something subtle but powerful happens in the gut. When you stop constantly eating, a system activates. Migrating Motor Complex. This is essentially a cleaning wave. It moves through the digestive tract, clearing residual material and bacterial overgrowth. Most people never experience this fully because they never stop eating long enough. This is not about the starvation. It's about giving the system space to reset its rhythm. The biggest fear, muscle loss. In total fasting, yes, muscle breakdown can increase over time. But here, you're still providing amino acids, still signaling the body structure matters. This doesn't eliminate muscle loss completely, but it significantly reduces the risk compared to zero intake. Another unexpected shift, the nervous system calms. Some compounds, like therein, interact with inhibitory pathways in the brain. Some people report deeper sleep, fewer nighttime awakenings, and more stable mood. Not because something magical happened, but because stimulation decreased and regulation increased. By day 5, you notice something different. Not just physically, but mentally. Hunger is quieter, energy is steadier. Your decisions feel more intentional. And for the first time in a long time, you realize something important. You're not reacting anymore, you are choosing. Now, this is critical. This protocol is not required. It's an extreme example of what the body can do. If this feels too much, start smaller. Reduce processed foods, increase nutrient density, create space between meals. Because the goal is not intensity. The goal is control. Your biology is always listening. Every meal, every habit, every signal. The question is not, is your body working? The real question is, what are you training it to become? I'm Dr. Max, and until the next video, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.